If you could throw one thing at someone you hate, what would it be? If you became obscenely wealthy overnight, what dreams would you pursue? What would you do if murder was legal? I still don't think I would murder anybody. It seems kind of wrong. Be murdered. Oh no! Go to the Winchester, have a nice cold pint, wait for this all to blow over. I work in retail. Let me tell you that most of the customers probably wouldn't survive their shopping trip with the way they talk to me or my colleagues. Probably spend a lot more time inside the house. Move somewhere that it isn't legal. Probably not commit murder, as I still have morals. Here I go, killing again. 90% of people at work would die due to their stupidity. Let's pretend each country in the world is a guest at a party. What are they doing at that party? Nobody noticed that Malta showed up. Who? What does America do better than most other countries? Jazz. You like jazz? National parks. Geodiversity. We have nearly every biome on Earth available in the lower 48 alone. Adding Alaska and Hawaii just completes the set. Question: is there any biome that doesn't exist in the US? The Mississippi River is the most overpowered transportation system on the face of the Earth. Real life lore. Serious answer: logistics. We're quite a large country and we've gotten very, very good at moving things around. Theme parks. Buffets. No buffet I've had can beat the ones I had in the States. Putting people on the moon and putting cheese like substances in spray cans, nobody else comes close. Entertainment. Dear Redditors, do you sing to your pets and replace lyrics with their names? And if so, what are your favorite songs to sing? Wow, there's not an original bone in my body. I thought that was exclusive to me. All my songs are original, and they all seem to be created by someone who is not yet literate. To Jam, my fat cat. Whoa, fat kitty, jambalam. Whoa, fat kitty, jambalam. Fat kitty fell asleep, jambalam. She didn't make no peep, jambalam. She's always hungry, jambalam. Her breath is fugly, jambalam. Whoa, fat kitty. That's actually really funny. I love that. I play Eye of the Tiger on my guitar for my cat when I see him wandering off to go hunting. She's a kitty cat on the floor. Really something I shouldn't admit. I don't really sing parody songs, but I do make up songs about them. The one I usually go with is, baby, he's a baby boy. Although once in a blue moon, I do go with the Tumblr parody of We Built This City. I pat this kitty, and boop his nose. I sing Hey There Delilah, but replace all the lyrics with cat stuff like, hey there little kitty, what's it like inside that box? I'm right over here and yet you cry for pets, yes you do. That doesn't rhyme. Just take a step or maybe two, and I'll bet you. I sing the Spider Pig song from the Simpsons movie with my cat. I also make him walk on the ceiling while I sing it. He tolerates me. I sing Who's That Lady to my cats, but Who's That Kitty instead. I can't believe I'm admitting to this, but if I had, I actually don't know this song. If I had a holly, I'd holly in the morning, I'd holly in the evening. Who's the most famous person from your hometown? I'm from NYC, so about 1 million people, but from my neighborhood, it's 100% Christopher Walken. Carrie from Portlandia went to my high school, but there's like 4 towns that claim her because her family moved around the local area a few times. Stephen King. Birthplace, Dave Grohl. Michael Phelps for the normies. John Waters for everyone else. Bob the gas station guy. He tells jokes. Mike Pence. My dad borrowed his car when he was a teenager. The voice of Mermaid Man. Ernest Borgnine. Prince. Hey, that's a pretty cool claim to fame. Seth Rogen and Ryan Reynolds. Why don't you want to have children? I'm too mentally unstable. I've already experienced what it's like to have a mentally unstable parent, and I wouldn't want to put a child through that. I'm not in a position in my life where I can see myself being a capable father, and I don't think I'm likely to get there. They're sticky. Because of the fact that I feel absolutely no need nor desire to be a parent is proof enough that I shouldn't be one. I don't want the emotional or mental responsibility of caring for them, not to mention the financial aspect. I work 40 to 50 hours a week, and so does my partner in order to pay our bills. I don't see a way childcare would fit into this. I can barely take care of my own ass. When I was a kid, I thought having kids later was normal or even mandatory. Then I grew up and figured there are other ways to live my life, and I felt a huge relief. It never changed, and I do not have any other reason. I just don't want children. Answer: I like sleeping late, traveling, having savings, and spending my time doing what I want to do. Because you can't just toss them in the bin when they stop being fun. Rate them 3 out of 10. Yeah, not the same as online dating at all. Broadly gestures at the world around us. I have bipolar, so my mental stability is a big factor. Never wanted to breed, now I can't. Yay! When I was about 5, I was brushing my doll's hair. My mom said, "Is that your baby?" To which I replied, "No, mother, this is a doll. I'm not gonna have children." Like that you stuck with it. Too much money. I like my freedom. Which restaurant chain went out of business that you wish was still open? I miss Soup Plantation. Chi-Chi's. I'm old. Sweet tomatoes. I'm not typically a healthy eater, but having one close was always a nice option for a quick lunch. Sizzlers. I could go for Bennigan's Monte Cristo. Sure, it was heart attack on a plate, but dang, it was delicious. Racks. My mom swore they were better than Arby's. Farrell's Ice Cream. Corny USA Southern family restaurant owned by singer Ray Stevens. The Streak, Mississippi Squirrel, called Po Folks. So good, these were real, not made up. I was telling people about Po Folks the other day. They all thought I was crazy. Old Country Buffet. Shakey's Pizza. Kenny Rogers Chicken, just because I never got to go there. If a fictional character had an OnlyFans account, which one do you think would be the most successful? This thread is gonna be rancid. Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Yep. Esmeralda from Hunchback of Notre Dame is 16 years old, so it's disgusting. Rancid. Okay. Johnny Bravo for sure. 2B from Nier Automata. I imagine Diva from Overwatch would be pretty popular. Unfortunately, Gardevoir would do extremely well. Bayonetta. I don't know if she would be number one, but it would be embarrassing how well Tinkerbell would do. Samus from Metroid. Annie from Community, but we try not to sexualize her. Ditto. Link. I've seen the subreddits. I thought you were talking about Good Mythical Morning, and then I forgot that it's fictional and we're talking about Zelda. Holy moly. The cancellation of which TV show are you still frustrated about? Happy Endings. Canceled due to low views, but that was a result of changing around its time slots, not viewers no longer having interest. Constantine and Clone High. Matt Ryan does a great job, and there was a great potential to explore more of the supernatural. Also, Clone High was really funny. Infinity Train. Very upset to see that canceled. It was such a cool and unique show. I remember reading about all the stuff the creator had planned for the future of the show, and seemed like he was really passionate about it and had a lot of story to tell. I know they eventually brought it back, but Arrested Development should never have been canceled. New seasons weren't the same, IMO. Carnivale. Never got over that one. Rome. It was canceled after 2 seasons because the production costs were too high. What sucks about being female? As someone who works in a heart center, I have to say the misdiagnosis of heart attacks. I feel for this. My wife has endometriosis. It's the worst thing I've ever seen a woman have to deal with. Probably when you had a fun day planned or anything like a holiday or beach trip, and on the day you end up having your period, which ultimately means you miss out on most of the fun you could have had. Dude, I can live with the blood and all, but the stomach and back pain, plus the awful period are just horrible. Pockets. I don't want to carry my phone in a bag. UTIs and yeast infections. Periods. I could really do without bleeding for a week, and I hate the only way to stop it is to have some contraption fitted, major surgery, or pills that mess with hormones. I was just thinking this morning that I hate having to either put on a bra or a jacket cover up when taking my dog to pee outside our apartment, considering it's 100 degrees too. I'm just not comfortable with my boobs falling out of my tank or nipples poking through a shirt. I'm sure it'd be fine, but my mind tells me not to. What is the most annoying thing about having a getting multiple streams? One main stream and then one son of a bitch shooting off in a random direction. Showing a presentation in front of the class while having an erection. The most annoying thing about having a penis. As a younger man, erections all the time. As an older man, erections few and far between. Just trying to adjust it in public without it looking sus. Oh my god, sus? Like Among Us? This is all good. It's these sweaty that piss me off. The fucker decided to wake me up at the same time I try going to sleep. Morning wood in front of parents or siblings. Gamers. Who's the best video game villain in your opinion? Electronic Arts. Matt from Wii Sports. You're making the mother of all omelets here, Jack. XX Dark Assassin 64 XX. From Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer lobby. Gaunter O'Dim from The Witcher 3 DLC. The only villain that does nothing but help you, but is obviously still a bad guy. What was the most insane lie a significant other told you? Told me she was a veterinarian and even had a degree hanging on her wall. My parents owned a small farm, so I asked her for advice and the answers were always questionable. My gut was telling me something is off. Googled her school and asked some basic questions that anyone who went should know. She didn't. It was all a lie. That there was spaghetti waiting for me when I got back. There was no spaghetti waiting for me. That she had cancer. Turns out it was her cover story for her prescription drug addiction. LOL, f you, Jenny. That he didn't like honey when he did. It's insane to me because what's the point? I have days I like honey and others I hate it. That's interesting and might explain it. Tried to tell me his ex was pregnant, then tried to tell me the baby miscarried when she got in a fight. This happened a couple days between each statement. I have no idea why. I was 15 and he was 17 or 18. Even his mom tried to stop me from dating him. I broke up with this dude after only a couple dates. A week later, he hits me up asking to take me to lunch because he just found out he had cancer. Motherfucker tricked me into a year-long relationship based on a cancer lie. I believe karma is a bitch though. That she was an orphan. Her family was very surprised. That she was using birth control. Guess who's living the single dad life now? What's something that needs to stop being passed down to the generations? At least in my family, the fancy wine glasses. No one ever uses them. Everyone keeps them hidden in the cupboards because they're too nice to use. They're not even sentimental. Someone just picked them up one day and handed them around the family. This damn cookie jar. I told my gram it creeps me out. Well, come on now, tell us more. Is it the soulless eyes or the porcelain skin? Is it the fact that great-great-grandma taxidermied her Sphinx cat to make the cookie jar? It's a freaking porcelain clown head. Put it deep in my closet as I can, but I know he's still watching me. Inheritable physical diseases and medical conditions. The idea that what you like to do isn't worth anything. Baldness. Thanks, Gramps. The I suffered through it, so you can suffer too mentality. Trauma. Debt. Making your child as your retirement fund. Racism. Men of Reddit, what's the male equivalent of flowers as a gift? When me and my wife were just starting out, I was talking to her on my way home from work about how I was so tired I was probably gonna skip dinner because I didn't want to cook and didn't have the money to eat out. I don't know when she did it, but when I got home, 2 minutes later, a pizza guy showed up with my favorite pizza. Inside the box said something like, I know it's not that healthy, but it's better than not eating. No one had ever done something like that for me before. Not just the gift of food, but that it was because she didn't want me to skip a meal either. She cared about my well-being. Hugs. I work as a first responder. One day we were sitting on the truck stuck in traffic in the downtown area. A woman walked up to my window and handed me a single rose, smiled, and told me to have a nice day. I didn't even know how to respond to that, but I'll be damned if my days didn't get 1,000 times nicer after that. I'm in my 40s, and that was the only time I remember ever being given flowers, and I regularly think about how nice it felt. Most guys don't get random flowers. Guys should get more random flowers. 10mm socket. A good sandwich. I was on my way to visit my girlfriend 3 hours away this weekend, and she called and asked if I wanted a grilled cheese waiting for me when I got there. What an exciting gift that was. My wife buys me flowers sometimes, and I really like it. Not gonna lie, I've never received flowers in my life, and I would actually appreciate it a lot if someone just gave me a bouquet of flowers, just because I never received any. A very cool rock. Food. Homemade. Literally any acknowledgement of the dude's physical being. Not sure if it's just my experience or if it's a general thing, but any acknowledgement of any part of myself will keep me going for a week. I bought my wife an expensive ring for our 8-year anniversary. She bought me an 18-pound Switch game. Good trade, I think. Male equivalent to flowers is probably money spent on a hobby. What movie has the greatest plot twist of all time? Psycho was a game changer. Crying Game. Original Planet of the Apes. Witness for the Prosecution. The music video of Call Me Maybe. Old Boy. Parasite. That wasn't only a twist, it freaking changed the film's genre. Fight Club. First time watching it when that twist started really stirring in. Pure joy. In the book, I Am Legend, the protagonist stays at home throughout the day to defend his home castle while these vampire-like zombies sleep. At night, he returns to finish them off. They eventually break in, catch him, and put him in jail. He's been told he will be put to death, despite the fact that he's launching these vampire zombies as monsters. The crowd is truly afraid of him when they bring him out for his execution. He's the monster in their eyes. This individual has been murdering the victims at night. The hideous creature was he. He was legendary. The Prestige. You don't really want to know. You want to be fooled, but you wouldn't clap yet, because making something disappear isn't enough. You have to bring it back. That's why every magic trick has a third act. The hardest part we call the Prestige. It is fucking crazy how the whole film they are pretty much spilling it out, and then it comes and your brain still explodes. I have to agree with The Sixth Sense. At the time, it was a huge deal. Everyone was being quiet about the ending, and the friend who took me to see it only said she'd know when I figured it out. My gasp. And as I gasped, so did about a dozen other people in the theater. It was mega cool. Odd answer, but crazy stupid love. 7. The Cabin in the Woods got me good. Wasn't expecting a twist in a run-of-the-mill horror film. The Book of Eli. I didn't see that coming. Neither did he. Orphan was pretty good. I also really liked After the Dark. How do you know if you're in love? When it feels like home. You'll know when you're in love when their mere presence puts you at ease. When you'll admit even your worst fears and traits without hesitation and accept theirs without hesitation. When even on the worst day of your relationship, you know that you want to be with them. When you put your ego and stubbornness aside and solve any issues that come up between you. When you want to tell them every detail of your day the second you see them. I knew I was in love the moment I could just exist with her not having to do anything, but just being totally and peacefully comfortable sharing an even silent moment together. That's rare for me. You're willing to give them your favorite food even if it means you won't get to have it for yourself. When you have someone in your mind while asking the exact question you just posted. If you have a favorite card game, which one is it? Euchre. Fun with friends. Magic the Gathering. Poker, especially Texas Hold'em. Spoons. As long as you have a decent number of players, it's easy and can get very intense pretty quickly. Dominion. Uno. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon, the trading card game. Hey, it's the magic word. Did you guys know I like Pokemon a lot? That's so crazy. What is the worst way to get broken up with? One day, one of my college exes tells me that her mom is visiting her over the weekend and she doesn't want her mom to know that she's practically living with me and my roommate. As a result, she needed to get all of her clothes, furniture, and video games out of my apartment ASAP so that when her mom comes, she won't be suspicious of us. I spent the better half of my Friday helping her pack up all of her and moving it across campus to her own apartment, only to then be immediately told that her mom isn't coming and that she's breaking up with me. Oh my god. That is genius! My boyfriend kicked me out of his house with all of my bags in the driveway when I had just flown up to stay with him for a month and a half since I lived 10 hours away. I never got a reason and we dated for 4 years. Being ghosted by pretending to be pregnant while you're away in the military, sending you photos of her friend's newborn baby to pass off as her own, then having a meltdown and getting her mother to deliver a letter to me to confess everything when she couldn't magic a baby out of thin air before I got home. I read a meme once about a guy breaking up with a girl. He broke up with her. They were in the restaurant and she started crying. Somehow everyone there thought the guy was proposing to her and they all started clapping. Oh no! I haven't heard anything that was more funny and sad at the same time. Having the person you're dating get drunk at a party and tell everyone else how in love he is with someone else and how that someone else spent each night at his house that week. What was the last thing you accidentally got for free? Got an extra bag of Famous Amos cookies from the vending machine the other day. It was one of the best days I've had this year. Subway app had a glitch, and when it used my Google Pay, it made an error and charged a card that doesn't even exist anymore. I called the store and told them, but they said the payment went through, so everything was fine. Our bank never showed payment taken out. So essentially, we got all of our food for free. I accidentally stole bananas and broccoli last week. I forgot to scan them. My receptionist forgot to charge my copay for my last therapy visit. What movie made you a permanent fan of an actor, and what actor? Inglourious Bastards with Christoph Waltz. And also Django. Silence of the Lambs made me a permanent fan of Anthony Hopkins. He's a brilliant actor. He was also fantastic in The Father. Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean. Nightcrawler, Jake Gyllenhaal. Leon, the Professional with Gary Oldman. Deadpool, and I think you can guess the actor by yourself now. Yeah, I don't remember his name though, so that's okay. What is God to you? Either it's everything or nothing, but not anything in between. Hope he comes down one day and says it's pronounced Jod and then leaves. Dog spelled backwards. Morgan Freeman. Just a slob like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus, trying to make his way home. Hey, he's got layers, I can tell you that. I don't know about God, but good old Mother Nature has done some wonders for me. From the beautiful blue skies to the need of rain after many sunny stroke days, just going outside seemed to bring me joy from within a truly sickening corporate ran world. Who is God to you? This dude. Yeah, nature is lit. What is something that can make the most beautiful person suddenly very ugly? How badly they treat others. A bad attitude. Someone should ask Reddit the opposite. What makes a very ugly person beautiful? Okay, thanks. Need all the help I can get. Unnecessary cruelty. Realizing that they're a raging narcissist. The narcissist prayer. That didn't happen. And if it did, it wasn't that bad. And if it was, it's not a big deal. And if it is, then it's not my fault. And if it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, you deserved it. Constantly talking about themselves. An angry chimpanzee. When they attack, they don't want to kill. They want to hurt you so you might survive with a mauled face and missing limbs. A strongly running nose and bad hygiene. Wiping back to front. What's something you did the hard way for the longest time because you didn't know there was a much easier way? Literally every single thing I've learned to do in Excel stems from a situation like this. Copy pasting on a computer by meticulously highlighting, right-clicking, then selecting the copy option. I didn't know about Control-C, Control-V for way too long. I have mixed hair and would always brush from root to end because that's how everyone else did it and how I was taught. Wasn't until I was watching a movie in my late 20s and a character's maid brought up the character with mixed hair needed to brush out the knots on the end before working up the roots. I gave it a try and then got confirmation at work from other girls with similar hair that that's how it's supposed to be done when you have certain types of tight curls. The years I spent crying while having chunks of my hair ripped out and torn out. Took me a while to figure out you simply collapse a comment thread on Reddit by simply tapping, not long pressing. I've been opening pistachios with my thumbs for 30 years until I saw my wife use half a shell to wrench her next one open and then my mind exploded. If you're picking citrus from a tree, there's an easy way. Citrus seldom grows straight down from the stem. Get your thumb underneath the side where the stem makes an acute angle, then nudge the stem away. When the fruit is ripe, it comes right off. No twist needed. No pruning shears needed. If you became obscenely wealthy overnight, what dreams would you pursue? I'd pursue my dream of being able to afford a place to live, buying up chunks of land here in New Zealand and converting it back to native forest. Visit every country. Buy a house big enough to have a music recording studio built in and use it to record all my own music and also that of others. Have my own coffee and bakery shop with my mom, especially right now since she was diagnosed with cancer this Mother's Day. Boats and hoes! God, I would fucking do nothing, dude. Being able to live the way I live now entirely stress-free would be bliss. The amount of times I skipped dinner to save a couple bucks or didn't eat for 2 days because I chose electricity over food. I love my lifestyle, but not having money makes it a lot less enjoyable. Music, video creation, build stuff. I'd pretty much just do nothing but my hobbies since I wouldn't need to work anymore. If you could throw one thing at someone you hate, what would it be? Grenade! A razor scooter to the head, to the shins for extra damage. The most vicious weapon of all. The sun, just to be sure. A knife. A half-rotten tomato. It's disgusting, wet, gross. I don't think any physical revenge is a good option, but some people really earned a hit with such a mushy and rotten tomato. Flesh-eating bacteria? Oh my god, dude. Shade. 2 buckets, one of hot tar, the other of feathers. Bro, it was one thing. You missed the prompt. Perspective. And with that, this video is over. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good night.